Welcome to chapter 6 of Staying Invested. This is about keeping the odds in your favour, showing you the probability of staying invested dramatically weighs in your favour the longer you stay invested for. And to demonstrate that, we're going to look at the FTSE All-Share, and we're going to look at it in calendar years. And you can see here from 1986 all the way through to 2022. And immediately you can see that around 70% of the time you're being delivered a positive return rather than a negative return only 1 in 3 times. However, the market does like to play with their emotions, as we've already seen through the previous chapters. And what we're identifying here with the orange dots are the low points in any particular one calendar year. Now, the key to remember here is if you stayed invested for that entire calendar period, you get a return that is better than that low point. If you take 1987, for example, on the left-hand side, you can see here the low point was around minus 38%. However, if you'd stayed invested for the entire year, you got a return that was positive. So more often than not, your point of capitulation, that low point, is going to be significantly lower than the actual return if you'd stayed invested. Sometimes it means a less negative return, but more often than not, it actually means a more positive return going forward. So staying invested, being resilient, being robust, gives you a higher probability of longer term returns. If you were to lock in those negative returns and capitulate it at every low point, that is an average per annum return of minus 15%. Whereas for the FTSE All-Share, staying invested for those long returns gives you a plus 6% per annum return. You've just seen the returns for the index for the FTSE All-Share. What we're going to show you now are the actual calendar year returns from risk profile 1 through to 10 for our active MPS. Going to pause here at Portfolio 6 because we had another example where we looked at the rolling returns in more detail for Portfolio 6. And here you can see that similar pattern to the FTSE All-Share. Vast majority of the returns are positive. We've only had, 5 negative year returns out of the 18, so that's extremely good. But the most important thing here to look at as well, sometimes those low points, those points of a capitulation, are actually 0. So if you look at 2006, you look at 12 and 13 and 17 and 19, all of those periods didn't provide you a negative return. So you didn't actually have a point of capitulation. Finishing on risk profile 10, obviously the returns are significantly higher and some of those points of capitulation are significantly lower, but a better profile than if you just invested in the FTSE All-Share. So stay invested for putting the odds of probability in your favour. Thank you for listening to this chapter. Please feel free to listen to the others.